when you walk in, you got the sign in the front, right? So before I even knew what the food looked like, I just kept seeing that sign over and over. So in my mind, I'm like, oh, they got the technology thing. They must know that this is a photo op. People are going to post it. People are going to come into it. When that helps it for the marketing. From the standpoint of pricing, because we just came from Miami and we went to some really nice restaurants. I'm like, I wonder how they're pricing these things, because I could go somewhere else and it might not be as expensive. Been to your restaurant a few times. It feels like it's mildly priced. And the quality is, the food is great. It feels like an upscale vibe. How do you guys go about making sure that the pricing stays at a point that you can have a continuous flow of returning customers?
Yeah, so I think, in everyone's head when you go out to a restaurant, most people are prepared to spend $20 for an appetizer and $40 for an entree. And then again, for us, you look at the food costs, you look at the margin on each dish. And sometimes people don't understand, but like if you sell a lobster versus a chicken dish, the lobster might be a lot more money, but as a restaurateur, you're actually making less money percentage-wise on the lobster than you are on a chicken dish. So it's more profitable to sell chicken than it is to sell lobster, even though it's a higher ticket item to sell the lobster.
Why is that?
It's just the food costs. Lobster, could for a dish that sells for $150 could cost you $50. For a chicken, you might buy it for $5 and sell it for $30. So the margin is a lot greater, even though the dollar amount is not. So a lot of people, I think, don't understand that. And for us, obviously, people order what they want, but we try to price things where it makes sense for the business and it makes sense for the customer. It's got to be a happy medium.
So it's just like an eye test. You don't necessarily. It's just like there's no set formula. Okay, this should cost $20. It should cost $30. You just kind of gauge it based off of.
Well, I think proof is kind of in the pudding, and it's based on food costs. So there is a formula to it, but it's not It's when you're doing liquor, I guess there's more of like for wine, for example.
What's the formula? Let's say, okay, if we have whatever chicken saute, right? The chicken, however much that chicken costs, like you do have to do 2 times how much the chicken cost in order to make a profit. Like what is that actual?
So typically you do a food cost for a dish. So let's say the food cost for a particular dish is $5. There's not a formula in terms of like, okay, we're going to mark it up 3 times or 4 times or 5 times. I think, supply and demand, if it's one of your more popular dishes, you could play around with the price and, gradually increase it to a reasonable number. But I think people have a preset understanding of what they're prepared to spend on an appetizer and what they're prepared to spend on an entree. So you try to keep it in that ballpark, and then you put premium dishes on the menu that people are prepared to spend more for.
So when... I'm talking about more marketing, and I guess it goes into the dishes. When you have specialty days, we talk about Valentine's Day. Who's making the decision to say, all right, let's stay culturally relevant, let's make this feel special? You start naming dishes after songs and after R&B artists. I know you did something in 2023 for the 50th anniversary of hip hop. Who's the deciding factor, and is that you and your team, or is it somebody like one of the waiters like, hey, this is what's happening out there. We need to get involved. We need to make this relevant. We make this popular. Who goes into that decision?
It's definitely a team effort. You listen to your staff, you listen to your partners, you listen to the customers. In the business, your clients become your friends. They become your family. Sometimes I see my clients more than I see my family. So you just listen to people. You take input. You ask questions. So it doesn't come from one place. It's just understanding your business and understanding your clients.
What's some of the memorable moments that you've had in the restaurant? Like anything come to mind as far as like highlights?
Yeah, we've had so many, but we've done a lot of memorable moments. But as you mentioned, Fabulous and French Montana did a song about Say Less about it a couple years ago, and it was a great tribute to the restaurant and what we've done. We did Fabulous's birthday party. And then we've had the who's who of, sports and entertainment, a lot of the European soccer players from Mbappe to, Cardi B, 50 Cent, Future, Kevin Hart, Mark Wahlberg. We have a constant flow of, different individuals, but we've had a lot of memorable events and moments at the restaurant.
How did the pop-up work out with 50?
So 50 is someone that I've had a long relationship with, probably for about 15 years now. And he has a big initiative in Shreveport to move his TV and film production facility there. So he approached us about, doing a pop-up there with him. for the weekend that he had in August. So, you know, we obviously believe in what he does and who he is and, you know, the success that he's had. So we were honored to be part of it and support what he's doing.
And how did it work out? It was good?
It was great, yeah. You know, it was a big turnout. I think for the first weekend that he hosted there, it was a big success. And, you know, I think there'll be more opportunities in the future to grow together.
Yeah, I feel like we went to the Say Less pop-up in Indiana for the All-Star game. Did you? I'm not sure. Was there one in Utah as well?
Yeah.
I think we were at the one in Utah. So we got a thing going, following it. How do you choose where the pop-up's going to be? And you're not everywhere.
Yeah, we're not everywhere. We, you know, NBA All-Star is definitely, you know, easy for us. You know, everyone that is our clients is in the market at the same time from the sports side, primarily basketball, and then the music artists that are in town. So, you know, I've quickly realized that a lot of these other markets don't know how to cater towards those people. So obviously by having the food there, that's, you know, something that's very attractive to them. But then it's grown more than just the food. It's become like a epicenter for all these people to host parties and after hours. And, you know, sometimes I have to pinch myself when it's happening because I'm like, I'm in the middle of Indiana. And people told me Utah was impossible. And we threw 3 epic, you know, parties in Utah and Indiana.
It was funny. Every night there was a party. But when people ask you what's going on after that, it was like, no, every night there was a Say Less party.
We became like the after hours.
Every night.